We was on his back patio, and we was drinking and laughing, talking, and then nigga Puff starts swirling his drink like this, and he goes, so Dave, he goes, what are you into? You know me, I was like, I don't know, nigga, books, video games, I didn't know there was my big chance.
What's going on YouTube? It's your Huckleberry here. You can call me Huck, back with another video. This time we're going to be reacting to a short part of a Dave Chappelle stand-up where he's discussing P. Diddy. So, you know, Chappelle is the GOAT as far as comedy goes, and I very much like pretty much a lot of stuff that he says. Even when he don't necessarily agree with something, he sees the validity, and he has a very special way of making his point come across, and like doing the whole like gotcha bitch kind of thing, where like he'll kind of lead you into one thing and you kind of like, oh yeah, and then like, but boom, and it's like the opposite, and he drops that point on you, making a majority of people be like, oh dang, you know. So let's get into hearing what Chappelle's got to say here. This should be extremely funny. Even though Chappelle typically is kind of more of a left-leaning individual, he's not so radicalized where he doesn't see common sense and logic. So let's get into it and let's see what Dave's got going for.
Shit ain't what it used to be, is it? This nigga Puff got 50 months. I don't like talking about this, but I'm gonna do it. Here's my thing about Puffy, and I gotta state my bias. Years ago, I got attacked on stage in California at the Hollywood Bowl. Now, this was a long time ago. At this time, Charlie Kirk was alive and well. Well, this is another reason it's hard to talk in America, because, you know, if you talk for a living and see Charlie Kirk get murdered that way, I'm gonna be honest, nigga, I was shook. I mean, Charlie Kirk is the wholesome white guy, and they killed this motherfucker. I said, these whites. We've never seen them like this. They're playing for keeps. And then remember the next day in the news, when all the information was still shoddy, they came out, they were like, apparently there were transgender messages inscribed on the bullets. I was at home like, oh no! I'm dead as fried chicken. And then weeks later they said what was written on the bullets. One of the bullets had Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella 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 Ciao written on it. Another bullet had written on it, if you're reading this, you're gay. I was at home like, nigga, I'm gonna need to see these bullets. How the fuck is this nigga writing whole paragraphs on bullets? How big are these bullets? What is this nigga, a watchmaker? He can inscribe all this shit on a bullet?
Whoa.
I'm telling you, it's easier to talk in Saudi Arabia. I was on stage not long ago in the States, and niggas got mad because I said, well, you know, maybe Puff will get off. And I said, I hope so. And the crowd was like, boo. Oh, okay, look, it's not that I think Puff is right, but when I got attacked in LA at the Hollywood Bowl, people forget Puff was the guy that tackled my attacker. He saved my life. It's a hard nigga to be mad at after that. I had security that night, but you know what I mean? Them niggas just wasn't ready. Them niggas had some slippery shoes on or something. They ran out. All them niggas slipped and fell. And Puffy got my attacker and tackled him. And then years later, when I heard about that baby oil, I was like, what did those niggas slip on? Thousand bottles of baby oil, that's a lie. But remember, he wasn't on trial for having 1,000 bottles of baby oil because it's not a crime to have 1,000 bottles of baby oil. It's gross. It's not illegal. And I'm gonna tell you something else I haven't said, but this is true. In LA one night, I shouldn't even tell, fuck it. I've been to Puffy's house. No, I didn't see none of the stuff they said in that trial. I walked through that nigga's living room, house was clean, traction on the floor, nothing slippery, walk right through. Perfectly normal evening. The only thing in hindsight, but at the time it didn't mean nothing to me. I didn't think about it until after I found all that stuff out, but in hindsight it was fucked up. But we was on his back patio, and we was drinking and laughing, talking, and then nigga Puff starts swirling his drink like this, and he goes, so Dave, he goes, what are you into? You know me, I was like, I don't know, nigga, books, video games, I didn't know that was my big chance to fuck Cassie.
Oh. Oh.
God bless her. I'm not making light of her. What she went through was terrible. But remember, because they kept showing this video of him beating her up in a hotel hallway, which is a terrible video. But he wasn't on trial for that. If you remember, he paid her for that before the federal charges ever came up. He paid her $35 million, is what I heard, which doesn't make it right, but I mean, come on, nigga. I do know niggas that have fought Floyd Mayweather for less money than that. And them niggas had to fight for 36 minutes. But Cassie is a gangster. She did something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. She had to testify about her sex life. Boy, that's tough. God save us all from that. Anything you say about sex publicly is gonna sound bad. Even if you're talking about fucking your wife face to face. If the judge is like, tell me about did you fuck your wife face to face? Yes, Your Honor, I did. But could you describe the account? Well, yes, I looked at her in her cold, bored eyes, and then I pulled those big panties aside, and it's like a bush that just screams, I don't give a fuck, and I just, you know what I mean? Just power through it, you know what I mean? Cassie had to do way harder than that. Them questions, they was asking her all kinds. Did Sean Combs pee in your mouth? I was like, oh my God. She didn't hesitate. Guess Your Honor, he did. He peed. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that's what makes a good comedian, guys. They just don't give an F. You know, they're just gonna say it. They know it's all about the humor factor. As a comedian, and even though I'm on a different political spectrum as him, I can appreciate his art and his craft and what he says and how he words it. And I will take in what he's saying because it gives you perspective from the other side. And that's a lot of what the other side doesn't tend to like do. Whereas I can sit here and listen to Chappelle and, you know, maybe not agree, but I still listen to his perspective or his point about things. I don't know if so many people on the left would listen to, let's say, Leonardo Joni and take into account her perspective, because of how, like we were saying in the previous video, how narrow-minded with the blinders that a lot of the left is. Just not trying to have open talk. But I don't want to get too much into politics in this video. I just wanted to laugh. So if you like the video, if you like listening to Chappelle, maybe we do some other Chappelle clips. I don't know what was up with, I mean, somebody definitely, the person that put this video out, definitely manipulated, like the background and all that kind of stuff. That's why it was kind of getting kind of weird. That wasn't on me. But anyway, guys, that was pretty funny. Love Dave Chappelle. He's still the GOAT. So anyway, guys, I'm out. We'll talk to you again soon, I hope. You're a daisy if you do. Peace.